Not even 2 years ago, I hit rock bottom. Life had confronted me with a severe burnout, PTSD, and a heartbreaking loss, followed by a deep and dark depression. Within weeks, I lost almost everything I created: businesses, money, but above all, my girlfriend, the connection to my family and friends, and myself. I needed a whole year to recover from this breakdown. Today, my relationships are as deep and intimate as never before. I established myself as one of the most successful marketers in Germany, and I'm fitter and healthier than ever. What helped me to fight my way back into life? Well, two things: therapy and habits. Tiny acts of discipline and self-love. They transformed me from being a failed self-employed with 10K in debt to a 5 figures a month solopreneur without ever working 20 hours a week. All the while writing my very first book. Here's my life-changing formula. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. John Maxwell. Getting up at 5 a.m. without an alarm. Ever since I dropped out of college, I've lived alarm-free. One of the biggest privileges in my life. It ensures that I always have enough of one of the most important resources: sleep. Living without an alarm doesn't keep me from getting up early. And contrary, it forces me to go to bed on time because I want to get up with or even before dawn. Then, first things first, I make sure I hydrate myself with a cup of warm water and electrolytes, take a massive shit, and step outside in order to get some sunlight and start right away with my morning practice. Yoga, meditation, breathwork, intention setting. My daily essentials to get my body and mind activated: ice bath, cold shower. Depending on where I'm at in this world, I might get to take an ice bath in nature, otherwise a cold shower will do it. The focus boost I get from cold water exposure is better than Coke. Cup of coffee. It was not until recently that I discovered the pleasure of a morning coffee ritual. It somehow slows me down and just makes my morning richer, but always at least 90 minutes after waking up. Oh, and by the way, all of this happens in silence. Throughout my morning, I make sure there's no input, no distraction whatsoever. My phone is on flight mode and not even my girlfriend is allowed to talk to me.
Every interruption will take you out of flow.
This helps me to dive into what I call my deep passion work. This one is non-negotiable. Alpha waves, noise-canceling headphones, full focus on my most meaningful project. If you don't have a deep work routine, that probably means that you haven't read Cal Newport's book, Deep Work, yet. I can guarantee, after you've read this book, you'll never miss out on your deep work ever again. So make sure you get into crafting, into creating as soon as possible. Because trust me, if the first thing you work on is something meaningful, this will fuel the rest of your day with a feeling of accomplishment and fulfillment. After my first deep work session, it's time for a late breakfast. I found intermittent fasting extremely helpful for mental clarity and productivity, which is why I have my first meal of the day around noon-ish, and I take the time to eat without any distraction. No YouTube, no WhatsApp, just me and the food. Upon that, I head out for a postprandial walk and to get a big chunk of my daily 10K in. In the afternoon, I got 2 more 90-minute work sessions. The first one is dedicated to strategic or operational work or learning, and the second one for communication and calls, which, yes, means that I check my messages and my emails only once a day. Let me tell you, one of the most productivity hacks is not to be always available.
If you're always available, you're a slave to everybody else's agenda.
Another powerful productivity tool is something most so-called high performers struggle with big times: taking little breaks and just doing nothing. I always make sure that there are spare moments of doing nothing throughout my day and taking micro breaks just to collect my thoughts, check in with myself, and just be for a few minutes. And I know this might sound like a super privileged thing, but believe me, it has a huge return of investment. Breakthroughs don't happen when our mind is permanently in doing mode, but rather when we step back and let our subconsciousness do the work. It's in the moments of silence when we will get the insight we were trying to find. And what also helps is play. Throughout the day, I try to squeeze in little sequences of, just having fun. Whether it's a game of ping pong with a coworker or just playing with an animal. Massive recharger and mood booster. Post work, I head out to make sure I get some kind of exercise in. Non-negotiable to cleanse my mental space from the workday. And for that, I vary between cardio, strength, and flexibility training. So again, depending on which part of the world I'm in, I might go for a run, head to the gym, play a round of paddle, attend a yoga or a boxing class, or have a swim in the ocean. After that, quality time begins. The golden and final hours of my day are dedicated to spending quality time with friends, my partner, or myself. Phones off, no disturbances, but being fully present with my beloved ones. To wind down from the day, I read a novel or a biography, followed by reflecting on my day. I don't use guided journals. Instead, I write about whatever has been going on in my mind throughout the day, what I've learned or what I've struggled with, and about the highlights and wins of my days. That's it. That's the daily routine that unfucked my life. And if you now feel triggered because you think, bro, this 20 hours work week is totally illusionary, especially for entrepreneurs, just give it a shot. Check out Parkinson's law and see what happens when you start separating work and see it as one part of your life instead of focusing your whole life on it. And if you struggle with staying disciplined, with sticking to your commitments in order to achieve your goals and visions, or if you struggle with finding a healthy balance in your life, let's hop on a free call. Link is in the description. Together, we'll find out what's really blocking you and what self-sabotaging patterns are keeping you from becoming the best version of yourself. Maybe it's not more hustle you need. Maybe it's a rhythm. Maybe it's silence. Maybe it's a system that creates the person you seek to become.